Opportunity to go within 2 points of Mikel Arteta's Arsenal. They will play Brighton next, and should they win, they will go 7 points clear at the top of the Premier League table. And I can tell you one man that is very delighted with that result is Ian Wright, who's with me alongside Farah Williams. Now, Wrighty, with Newcastle dropping points and City dropping points, how big an opportunity is tonight for Arsenal?
It's a massive opportunity. I'm sure they'll realise that. Brighton it's a tough game, but at the same time, they've just got to focus on what they've been doing. They've got good momentum. They're playing very well. You don't want to go there, Seema, and try to do anything differently simply because Man City and Newcastle have dropped points. But what you want to do is like I saw them do first half against West Ham, play the way they're playing and keep pressure on the team.
And actually, talking of the West Ham game, they answered any critics, didn't they? Or anyone that might have questioned whether they could have come back after the World Cup and found that momentum again, because they won that game in style, coming from behind as well.
They did, and it's difficult. Obviously, the break in the World Cup, we all questioned before that whether Arsenal could keep that momentum up, and they showed that they can. They showed maturity in their performance and their players, and the way that Saka's come back from the World Cup, keeping that form that he had for England, and he's been fantastic for Arsenal. And it's what they're going to need again, you know, today to then take advantage again of the points that City and Newcastle have dropped today.
In the absence of Jesus as well, how happy were you for Nketiah to not only deliver a great performance but score a goal as well?
I was delighted for him because he's under a lot of pressure. Obviously, he's signed a new deal with Arsenal because they've got a lot of faith in him. And it's times like this where Arsenal will probably still try and sign someone, but it's times like this where it's a chance for him to come in and show that he is capable of filling the gap for as long as it may be, because the goal he scored was a fantastic goal, a real finisher's goal, does well on the defender, rolls him well. And then it's the composure here that, you know, to score the goal. And it's something that if he doesn't score in that game, or he doesn't score while Jesus is...
Remaining of this match week, this is what we've seen so far after wins for Brentford at West Ham and Liverpool at home to Leicester on Friday. Today we've seen Manchester United beat Wolves with the winning goal from Marcus Rashford, who started the game on the bench because of internal disciplinary reasons. Crystal Palace won at Bournemouth, ending a two-match losing run. It finished Fulham 2, Southampton 1, Paulinho scoring a late winner for the hosts. Manchester City, we've just seen, held by struggling Everton. It was goalless between Newcastle and Leeds, with one game still to come today as Brighton host the leaders Arsenal at the Amex. This is how the table looks, starting with the top then, and Arsenal, as Joe mentioned just now, can go to Brighton with the chance to go into 2023 7 points clear at the top, should they pick up all 3 points on the south coast. Manchester City is second on 36 points, two ahead of Newcastle. Manchester United into the top 4 for the first time this season, 2 clear of Tottenham, who host Aston Villa on Sunday. Liverpool 6th, 4 points off the top 4. Fulham are 7th for now. They could be replaced by Brighton should they beat Arsenal. Chelsea in 9th, and they could go as high as 7th if they win on New Year's Day. At the other end, Southampton stay bottom on 12 points, a point behind Nottingham Forest, who host Chelsea on Sunday. Wolves in 18th also have 13 points. West Ham remain just a point above the drop zone. Everton 2 clear, Bournemouth are clear by 3, as are Leeds, and Leicester have a 4-point cushion with Villa 5.
What the effort needed today to get that point?
Yeah, massive. I think we showed our character today. We've always had a good team spirit, even though things maybe haven't gone our way in the past couple of games or whatever, but that's the standard today, work rate, togetherness, and it feels good to come away from here with a point.
It was a tough first half, particularly for you as well, with your battle with Erling Haaland. Why did it go like that?
It's always going to be tough here. I don't need to tell you that he's a good player. Yeah. All I can do is my job and do what I can, and that's that. Do
you think he was upset by you?
Yeah, of course he was. I think you saw his reaction, and that's my job at the end of today to try and keep him out. You know, he got a goal, but it is what it is. You know, he's always causing people problems, and it's those sort of challenges that you got to look forward to.
Once you went 1-0 down in that first half, was it really important to regroup and make sure the damage didn't get worse?
Yeah, definitely. We knew that if we stayed in the game, we always could create chances. We've got loads of ability up front. I think Dimmy showed that with his finish, what a goal it was. So, you know, you come here and you give yourself a chance to score, and we've done that.
What was your view of the goal? Because it was a special equaliser.
Unbelievable. I see him do that in training all day and day out. I know it's a cliche thing to say, but he works on his finishing a lot, and you know it's nothing less than you know what he deserved.
Also, as well, there was so much added time at the end of the game, and it looked as if you were really backs to the wall. You were off the pitch by then, but what sort of effort did your teammates put in?
Massive. you know, to be 1-0 down at half time, I think it's easy to let that get to you.
Yeah.
And as I said, we stuck together, and we knew we was going to get a chance. Albeit Dimmy's goal wasn't really a chance. It was a worldie, but it is what it is, and we'll take the point.
Incredible point when you consider, I suppose, the positions of both these sides in the league table going into this game. Let's have a look at Demarai Gray's goal. I mean, this was special from him, was it not?
Yeah, brilliant goal, brilliant bit of individual play. I mean, first of all, it's careless from Rodri. You know, rarely do you see him make a mistake like that, but he's on the move in 1v1. And just watch here, he sets them up. But Mykolenko makes an overlap on the left-hand side, and that just creates a bit of distance between Akanji, and that makes up Demarai Gray's mind to go into the top corner there. John Stones, you think, you can step up. You're not marking anyone. Go step up. Because obviously Akanji's going to go with the runner, but take nothing away from Demarai Gray. That is fabulous. And he's just got so much ability showing. He won't 1v1. You just want to see him doing a little bit more.
Yeah, it is nice to, obviously I'm not happy, but it is nice to see him do this, because last season he was doing it quite regularly, especially in the bigger games. But the way he takes this inside now, and on a slip, he knew what he was aiming for, and he pulled it off.
Yeah. City, though, Sean, had their chances, did they not, to claim all 3 points?
Yeah, they definitely did have their chances, and it's a rarity that they don't take them in this game. It just wasn't going the way they wanted. I think Mahrez should have hit that first time, and even if he doesn't, when he's going to hit it, put power in it, because there's a lot of bodies on the line. You can't afford to place that there. But the little shank from Kevin there, then it bobbles around, and Mahrez gets it, then it's a save.
This was mayhem.
The end of the game was mayhem, wasn't it? You know, but credit, you know, Everton, they were struggling. You know, everybody was very critical of.
112th minute on the clock. How did this not go in?
What a perfect corner, by the way. He's got to score, Rodri.
Yeah,
he's just got to score. I think maybe he's worried about defender. I think he maybe puts his hands on, but I love this corner. You know, the ball in is perfect, and maybe the defender puts him off, but you think you just got to score there. Tom Davies just gets involved, doesn't he?
I think that's a big miss. Yeah, he's got to at least hit the target, and I didn't make the right amount of contact on it.
Yeah. Good luck.
Well, as Michael says, they can be beaten. They aren't invincible, but how much of beating Man City?
It has to be, doesn't it? It has to be. You keep them quiet, you've got half the chance straight away. It has to be, doesn't it? It has to be. You keep them quiet, you've got half the chance straight away. It'd be interesting to see what team Pep puts out, whether he goes with Erling Haaland or whether he tries other people, because there's a lot of games coming up, whether he feels it's an easier game because they're at home. But he's in the right team, a team that scores bundles of goals, you know, a team that win the league constantly, or a team that are challenging for trophies. So he's in the right team to score these goals. And with De Bruyne, and it was Grealish the other day, he's got the people to supply him. He just needs to finish them off, which, of course, he'll do in abundance. But it's up to Frank to go out there with a master plan and try and shut them down. As you said, not every team will play well every single game. And it's that one time where they're just off it a little bit. That's when you have to capitalise. Brentford did it. Can Everton do it?
Well, Man City can't afford to slip up, because in terms of the title race, they're 5 points behind Arsenal, and they know that every single point matters right now. Can you see them catching Arsenal, or do you think Arsenal are going to win it?
No, well, they're certainly capable of catching Arsenal, but Arsenal look like a different animal themselves this season. And again, we spoke about a team like Manchester United getting better and better. Arsenal have got better hand over fist, and they look the real deal. Whenever I watch Arsenal, I'm blown away, not just by their results, but their football is stunning to watch. They're fast, they're aggressive, they look in control of every game. So they're not going to be an easy team to catch. So again, Manchester City can't be slipping up, certainly to teams like Everton when they're playing on the home patch. So big game for Manchester City. As Macca says, games coming thick and fast, and they can't give any more rope to Arsenal.
Title race going to go right down to the wire?
I hope so. As neutrals, you want...
Title race going to go right down to the wire?
I hope so. As neutrals, you want it to go down to the wire like it did last year. It was full of excitement on the last game of the season. The twist either way, Liverpool and Manchester City. So you want it to go as far as it possible, just to keep it interesting. Arsenal are doing great, aren't they? And the fact that they've got to January, got to the transfer window to a certain extent, top of the league flying. You know, if they've got anything about them, they may invest again, or they should give Mikel Arteta the money to bring in a few more players, because they're there now. Yeah. They'll get into the Champions League, and, you know, an epic failure will see them miss out in the Champions League. So they should be there. So they should have more finances coming along the line. But it's whether they go again now and take a chance to really shore it up. But hugely impressed with Arsenal and Mikel Arteta's side. They look really, really resilient, which is something that we haven't said about Arsenal over the last 4, 5, 6 years.